Hello, hello. Welcome everyone to the finale of the Dread Carnival. You may have noticed a music change and the title of the episode, so we are in for a fun night. If you've been here for a little while, you probably know Call of Cthulhu game, modern day, set in Los Angeles 2025. And I'm probably going to get a little emotional at the end of the episode, but at the beginning of the episode, a huge thank you to the amazing 5% Chance producers and Tech Jockey, Erica and Curtis, respectively. Also, thank you to our partner Chaosium, where you can find all things Call of Cthulhu from different types of Call of Cthulhu flavored dice, someone's going to run with that. Designed dice, and also just every handbook you can possibly think of. I'm going to drop it down to my players, starting with the one who's making the weird faces at me, Chris.
Flavored?
You've never heard of that? Like something was flavored this way to talk about what kind of.
Oh, and then like.
Not licking the dice, which I knew some
I'm
people would
going
think
to
of
be
as I
licking
said
the
it.
dice.
Like grape.
Does Call of Cthulhu taste like grape? Anyway, hello, I'm Chris, also known as Hamasamakun. That's HAMASAMAKUN on all social media platforms. That's Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Farmers Only, probably Twitter occasionally. I don't know. I always kind of trail off during that part. I'll be playing Rory Choi. He's doing his fucking best, man. I'm doing my best out here. Jonathan!
Hola, buenas tardes. Jonathan Perez. I will be playing Isaí Guerrero. Maybe for the last time? I don't know. We don't know how this episode's going to end because I don't know anything anymore. Also known as Latinos Against Spooky Shit, you can find me everywhere as Latinos Against Spooky Shit. Streaming, playing, joking, crying.
Crying?
Charm, take it away.
Hi, I'm Old World Charm, and I support using tears as lubricant for any of your machine or dungeon master purposes.
I
And
don't feel nearly as
here,
bad about what I said now.
I am prepared for all kinds of awful things in our amazing finale, and by awful, I mean wonderfully traumatizing. Cathartic. You can find me everywhere, Old World Charm, OWC. Yeah, just type it in and keep clicking until you reach the dark part of the web where you find my old modeling pictures. So cringy. Anyway, Sam, Scxrlet.
I'm Googling right now.
No!
Oh, hello. I am Scxrlet64, also known as the mother of dessert dragons. You can find me all over the internet. I run an actual play every Sunday and various one-shots and fun TTRPG things throughout the week here on Twitch. I am going to be Sam, the girl who's going to lose her innocence in a not sexy way after the end of this session.
Really?
In a not
just gets
sexy way,
worse.
in a sad way, in a devastating way, in a traumatizing way.
Not in a Stephen
Off to a
King.
Not
great
her
start.
purity innocence, her
I-
brain innocence.
Oh my lord!
You know it's bad.
Also,
when
by the way,
Kristen has a good
I'm
one.
scrolling a bit further down in Charm's Instagram, and
Take it away, Chris.
Oh boy. And hello, I'm Chris, aka D&D Imposter, who realized I've never actually introduced myself ever at the beginning of any game up until now. So we're just gonna run with that. But I am the game master for this game. And because this is a horror game, I want to preface it like I do every week with some safety tool talk. All players, tech members, producers have provided consent sheets, and the cast is fully aware of the lines and veils of this game. At any time, one of my players or someone behind the screen can X, red card, anything they'd like in a scene, and we will move directly on. But for those of you in the audience that cannot control it in the same way, just know that all of these games are run roughly about 2 hours long, and they are recorded and posted on 5% Chance's YouTube. So with that in mind, if at any time thematic elements are just triggering or unnerving or even just make you feel uncomfy, please pause the stream, step away from it for a bit. You can always catch up later on, again, 5% Chance's YouTube. Now, if you just jumped in and you missed the content warnings for this miniseries overall, trigger warnings can but are not guaranteed to include body horror, primal fears, spooky atmosphere, dead animals, harm to children, but only the PCs, loss of player agency, disbelief in one another's experience, which is not to be confused with gaslighting, all types of carnival themes, drug usage, adult language, at one time, lasagna, and for this episode specifically, creepy crawlies and loss of grief. Now, last episode, we left off with our party of four, in the middle of the big top having been brought into the ring in the center that is filled with sand. And a long rectangular table had appeared, and they at one point were stuck to the what I would say are sand chairs. Now they have been let free, and at the end of the last episode, we met Rory's brother, Jason, who's been missing for 3 years. And we ended the episode with the darkness and with all of the puppets' eyes who had been the viewers of what was going on in the stands moved close into them. So they are surrounded by darkness with these poking, like, different colored eyes coming out, looking at them. And then we ended the episode with Jason taking one of the 5 pieces of paper off the table, writing something on it, and folding it and holding it up. And that is where we pick back up.
Is there like a time limit to this? Like the other ones had like a timer. Is that on, or is it just like we're just
Yeah,
standing?
you guys would see that the timer above you is about halfway gone now.
Oh shit.
I'm just looking like at what Jason's holding. What is that?
We have to vote.
For what?
I'm not entirely sure.
Well, it's very irresponsible to vote for things you are not educated on, Jason. You know this.
Yeah.
Who did you vote for?
And he just takes it and puts it in his pocket.
A secret thing.
Ooh.
I'm not supposed to.
Are you not telling me because you're not allowed to, or because you don't want me to know?
Make me a psychology check with advantage,
Okay.
because you know him.
I believe
That
it.
takes it to a 2%.
Oh, yeah. Let's
If-
go.
If anybody, I will say, especially because you guys don't have a lot of room right now, if you guys want, you can also try to roll this. You just
Sure.
I will say the only other person who could get advantage is Rory.
I did not pass.
Okay, the first one. But I have a second roll because advantage. Let's do this.
I believe in you.
That's not
Oh,
that's
no.
advantage is you roll the
Oh.
D100 twice. Your
Never
last number
mind, I
stays the
leave
same.
that- Okay, I leave that first one then. So there's a chance. What I'm hearing is there's a chance if I.
Okay.
Oh fuck! There's a chance if I roll a 0. So. Fuck yes. Okay. So that was a 2, and my psychology is 10.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Against all odds.
Ooh.
Against your brother.
I want to know his fucking credit
That's-
card information.
Did anybody else roll?
I failed.
You failed? Okay. Isai, did Isai try to check or no?
No, because he said he wants to try to do something else.
Okay. I will say what Rory sees, and then I'll jump to you.
Yeah.
Rory, you remember when you were in elementary school and you told your brother a secret to keep from your parents. You had broken something. And you remember how he looked at his parents when they confronted you about it. And you remember seeing him take the blame. And your parents didn't believe him. There was no way our son could do this. There's no way Jason would do something like this. This is something Rory would have done. And you remember seeing this look in your eye when someone is holding on to something that they cannot share. And you can tell that it's not just that he's withholding something, but for some reason, he can't give it up. With a 2, I won't even say he feels like he can't. He cannot give it up. You can tell.
When you say can't give it up,
Never
Like
gonna
through,
give
like,
it up.
I knew it.
Immediately shut down DCMA.
Jesus Christ. When you say can't give it up,
Mhm.
like coerce? Like they could tell me if I got it out of them, or like they just can't, period.
With a 2, it looks beyond his power. Like you could see, I'll even say this is like more of a psychoanalysis thing that you get, where you can see his lips kind of quiver, as if he's trying to say something, but he physically cannot. And you can tell that this isn't his own doing because you see the pain in his eyes.
I'm gonna do something, but I'm
Okay.
gonna let Jonathan do their thing first.
Okay, Isai, what are you trying to do as Sam was talking?
I want to, permitted that the players allow me, I want to grab everybody's paper to see if there's any difference in any of our pages and to see if the pens work on each other's papers or not. I want to see if they're tied directly to us or
Okay.
if they're just paper. So I'll just go around and if they let me collect them.
I don't think Sam would stop you. She's kind of like just fixated on Jason with a look of such deep hurt. And like
I think
biting
when I
her
walk,
lip.
yeah, when I walk by everybody, like Sam, when I come to collect your paper, I lean down and I'm not whispering by any means, but I'm like, hey, we need to get a feel for what these do, and I don't know if we can trust Jason right now.
Fine. Just gonna kind of slide it over to you.
And take it. When I get over to Frankie, I'm like, hey, bud, this is kind of out of our realm. I don't know what's going on, and I think having all of us do something with the paper at once, it doesn't sound smart to put all our eggs in one basket. Do you mind if I?
Yeah. Here, take this too. And I rip a piece of paper out of my own journal and add it to the pile in addition to my own paper to see if that adds a control group.
Smart. Fucking smart, dude. Take that and come over to Rory. I'm like, hey, bud, I don't know what's going on with Jason. I don't get any of this. But these papers, I mean, we saw what happened with Elias and his sister. And if there's a chance of any one of us accidentally doing the same thing, I think we can't all just, we need to coordinate. You're muted.
So-
Oh, no, there you are.
I was just really quiet. I was whispering to myself. That was an inner monologue. That's how you're supposed to do it, Frankie. No, but there's something wrong here. There's something beyond Jason. There's something he's not telling us, and I don't think he can.
I think it's that spider thing.
Is the spider thing still here? It left, I'm pretty sure.
Roll
right?
me a listen check.
Ah, Christ.
Get that for all of us?
If you would be listening right now.
Oh,
Also,
I am on high
I'm
alert.
sending you a message, Chris.
Okay.
I think since
Oh my
I
God,
brought it
just
up.
barely. Success.
Okay.
It was 40. I got a 39.
Nice.
38.
Let's go.
I got a 97.
You are not on high alert, Frankie.
I am just high.
You
No
you
alerts.
realize that as you were pulling out one of the pages in your book, it kind of like, when it's not completely cut
Oh,
between two pages, you kind of
I would
pulled
100%.
part of the other one.
Yes. Yes. You know Frankie well. He would hate that.
Okay. And and Jonathan, what did you say you got?
38.
38.
Yeah.
I don't have your sheet in front of you.
Oh,
What do you
sorry.
mean?
Sorry, it's a pass.
Okay, it's a pass. You two hear breathing behind you, but not directly behind you, kind of like at a distance. And as you guys turn your own separate ways, whatever is at your six, or like whatever's behind your six, you see that one pair of the eyes gets a little bit bigger and smaller than the others as you hear the sound of 8 tiny, like 8 legs around the side of what you assume to be the big top beyond the darkness. And the eyes, there's only been one set of eyes that are moving in the darkness this whole time.
It's kind of circling.
Mm-hmm.
Jason, does this And I'm gonna walk over to him, papers and everything in hand. I'm gonna try to whisper to him. I'm like,
Mhm.
Jason, does this thing have a name?
The thing?
You know, the thing.
Oh, no. We've just called her Z, to be honest. Everyone has different names. For her, it wasn't me. Someone before me picked what everyone generally knows her as, but I only see her tonight.
That's right. You only see her once a year. Once a year? No, you guys have done this before. Have you had other chances to escape, or is this your first chance you've had? Because we're here.
I've tried to escape a lot. But this is the night of the year where we have, and it looks like, it seems like he's getting choked up before he says something, almost as if every word he goes to say is being monitored if it can come out of his mouth. And it just sounds like this weird live editing going on as he is like confusedly kind of shaking his head and everything. It's the one night we have autonomy and can participate instead of participating. And you see he kind of gets choked a little bit, but he looks around to the eyes behind you all.
The faceless doll is still in the middle of the table, right?
Correct.
And could you re-describe it for me?
Yeah, it looks like it's like a small 2 foot, I want to say 2 feet, wooden puppet doll with the clothes that look like Jason's from the puppet you had seen earlier, but it's kind of like carved in. There's no face in the front.
I see. Sam seems suddenly very fixated on that center puppet, but she seems a little hesitant to say anything.
Okay.
But then she'll kind of like look back at Jason. What's the deal with this? And gesture to the puppet.
And Rory, are you paying attention to Jason?
Yeah, I've been.
Okay. Okay. You can see the same. You're seeing the look that Sam can't tell. Sam doesn't understand what you're seeing. Sam sees like hesitation and not saying anything, kind of silence. You can see him trying to talk, but nothing coming out. It almost looked like there are moments where it looks like he goes to say something and it's like something literally stops his mouth from moving, or his jaw goes ice cold still for a moment before something else. And this is going on for like 10 seconds. You just see like him frantically looking everywhere, like,
I don't.
and you see one tear fall down as he just shakes his head, pointing at himself.
I'm gonna walk up to my brother and I'm gonna give him a hug. And I'm just gonna say, it's gonna be okay, dude. Don't worry about it. And I'm gonna try to take the piece of paper from his pocket.
Make me a sleight of hand check.
Can I get advantage because he's distracted because he hasn't felt
No,
physical?
but you
God
can
damn it.
use your
Oh wait, I have advantage. Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
While that's happening, anything that Frankie's doing right now, or is Frankie just kind of watching it for the moment?
I don't even need it. Don't even need it. Success.
Okay, we'll get back. We'll circle back.
Frankie's just trying to, now that he's taking care of the whole paper kind of thing, he's holding on to his journal with his, all the papers and notes, and I'd say he's just he's trying to get a feel for what the audience is doing, what the audience's place in this is, what if there's something in the audience or about the audience that could be an advantage.
Is the audience is puppets, right?
So the audience was puppets before the darkness came in, and then all you can see from whatever this like fog of darkness that keeps moving in, it almost seems like it gets a little closer every time you check again, but all you see are eyes.
Got it.
Mhm. So are you trying? I guess explain it just one more time for me. What are you trying to see? Is if something's in the darkness, if you hear?
Yeah, a perception check of whatever equivalent that would be to kind of glean as much as I can about like what to identify the audience, so I can perhaps get information for the party about their
Okay.
their place in this, like what they are, so I can
Yeah.
help figure out what we can do with an
Mhm.
audience, because an audience speaks to a performative nature, and that could be the difference between life and death. Oops.
Okay. You make me, it'll be up to you whether, I guess it depends. Are you using your own, like what I would say, street knowledge, or are you using all these things you've learned from watching detective TV shows and hearing from your grandfather being education? So is it more of a street smart, or what you've like learned from books and television education? So you pick which one you want to roll.
I would say, yeah, I want to rely on my innate intelligence, like
Okay.
the part of me that has been self-taught.
Okay.
Like for any of us who may have had this instinct to understand groups of people that make you anxious so that you could fit in or avoid standing out, or figure out what would cause a group to turn on you so you don't get beaten up or bullied. That's like Frankie's strength.
Make me an intelligence check then, and then I'm gonna say what's going on.
Can I push this?
What are you doing differently? And it can't be just that you're looking differently.
No, I would say I am pretending the audience is going to hurt me, so I am more motivated. I'm imagining every bully's face from home, every time I got jumped, every time anyone made fun of me for the way I dressed, as the classic look. I'm just basically trying to humanize something about the audience.
Okay.
Don't be worse. Oh, thank God. Oh, but that's actually possibly even better than a normal success. It is a hard success.
Okay. So all of you are in this moment together, and there's a few things going on. As it's kind of like there's a bunch of things going on at the same time. Rory, you hug your brother and you say this to him as you reach your hand into his pocket. While Sam, sorry, let me take a step back. Were you doing anything else, or kind of you watching the scene with Rory? It's been like 5 seconds since the last time anyone did anything.
I think that I'm gonna take. I feel like I want to like pull the puppet kind of closer to me.
Okay.
Not in a sneaky way. I don't think I'm not allowed to touch the puppet, but I just kind of want to pull it close and maybe just like sit it in front of me.
Okay. So all these things happening at once. Rory, I'm gonna start with you. Rory, you hug your brother. You hug Jason, and you reach your hand into his pocket, and you can feel the piece of paper in your hands And as you're pulling it out, you realize your brother isn't moving. Like, you know how when someone feels that you're touching them or something, they'll kind of jerk back. You recognize that he doesn't feel that you're taking this out of his pocket, that you're
okay.
doing it successfully. And Frankie, you begin to look around the room, and Sam, as you pull the doll, and now I'll go backwards. Sam, as you pull the doll and it moves about an inch on the sand table, it begins to disintegrate in your hand into sand. And Frankie, as you're looking at this at the same moment, looking at all these eyes, you said you got a hard success?
Hard success, yeah.
You can tell that this isn't just regular darkness. This seems like a wall in between these eyes and you. But as you look closer at all of them, like around you and above you, you see emotions in these eyes. You see some looking sad, as almost like their eyes just look a little glossy. You see some that you recognize that look from just cruel people and cruel students at middle school. That crinkle of the eyes that they did something mean and they like doing it, something evil. You see others just apathetic. And you see some excitement, as if they had eyebrows, they would be raised. And Rory, as you pull out the piece of paper and you look down and you realize that you did it, the paper begins to disintegrate into sand in your hand.
Am I
And
able to catch what it
Isai,
says?
you do not.
Dang it.
Isai, the 4 pieces of paper that you have just written on disintegrate into sand. And you all 4, without any listen check needed, you hear that, you all hear clink, 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 as these eyes that a couple of you noticed before get bigger and bigger and bigger, until you see this creature come out into the creature come out from the darkness again. But this time, Rory on all 4s, with this long neck and the same crooked head, but on a different body. And this is the body that you truly recognize from the forest years ago. And it goes up to Isai. Its neck kind of elongates and its head close to Isai. And with its crooked, huge smile, "You're going to be a fine addition. I'll be back soon. You probably feel it starting." As it looks almost through you, and Rory, you feel like the eyes are looking at you, as it, in a swirl of sand, disappears. As Isai, you begin to feel the feeling in your feet disappear as you look down and your feet are starting to turn into sand. The same way all 4 of you saw with Ashley and Elias.
Do we
Isai,
see this?
what did you do?
You guys see it.
No,
Sorry,
no, no, no,
Rory.
no, no, no. We didn't do anything. We didn't do anything.
You
We
and
didn't
Jason
even have a
deserve
chance.
a chance, funny enough. Sam, you were always the brave one out of all of us. So take care of everybody else, please.
What are you talking about? What's happening?
Frankie, buddy, I'm so sorry if anybody ever made you feel lesser than. You are perfect the way you are, bud. And I am so grateful that I got to meet you.
I understand. I
What do you-
accept.
What do you mean you understand? What? I'm like gonna
Jason.
grab Frankie and start shaking him. Stop him! Stop him!
I get to
Jason,
be with my dad, maybe. Now.
I get it. The burden of having to carry all that on your shoulders, man. And I wish every day that somebody would be able to take that burden off me, of being there for family, of having to be that person for everybody. but your family needs you. Rory needs you. Your parents need you. So, I do this gladly.
You are under the impression that Frankie thinks you wrote his name.
Fucking goddamn it.
Isai, really quick, make me a dodge check.
Nice. These have been rolling good for me. It's a 99. I think that's good, guys.
What's your health at?
13.
Oh god.
13. The 99,
Take 100 damage.
you take 4 points of damage, and consider how big that number is comparison to your health. As
That's a whole limb.
you see Jason push Rory off, and he takes those few steps to you and punches you in the face. And with a 99, I'm gonna say both of you kind of fell back onto the ground. And you've never seen him mad like this. And almost on you guys both landed, him stopping himself before he fell on you on the ground. Do you know what this fucking is gonna do to Rory? And before you can answer, Jason disappears. And you feel blood start to come out of your nose, as now your calves are starting to turn into sand.
Where'd he go?
I'm gonna sit up because I don't have calves. I don't have feet.
I'm gonna help him up.
Can you help him up? He doesn't have feet.
No, I meant
you-
like to sit upright.
You put
I
him
hold
up
him
and he
on my
just falls
back.
down.
If
I'm grabbing onto your shirt collar. We could have figured something out. Why did you lied to us? You tricked
I-
us.
Rory, when you reach down to like pick me up, if you allow it, I'm gonna pull you down towards me instead, and I'm gonna just hold you. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. Be here with us. Go back with us. Don't. Why are you so stupid? And I'm just gonna kind of rest my head against kind of near your neck.
Isai, I think it would be inappropriate for me to keep your file. So you can have it. And I take a page out of my notebook and hand it to you. And if you'd like to know what it says about Isai from Frankie's perspective.
If you have that, please message it to me for sure.
I wanted to
do-
hear it. Damn
want
it.
Yeah,
to-
me
oh,
too.
sorry,
We're
is
gonna
it
read it
okay if I-
aloud.
Is it
Read it
okay if I
aloud.
read it in Frankie's
Yeah,
voice?
yeah.
Like it's like in your
Yeah,
head?
go for
Yeah, like narrating
Oh
it,
my
please.
lord.
Isai met in karate class and approached me to help with a case to find his best friend. This will either be my magnum opus or my greatest failure. Still unsure, but it'll be greater than that time I found that illegal chinchilla fighting ring. Isai, a natural leader and the true glue of this group. The muscle. He appears to bear the difficult need to appease others, especially those he feels protective over. It could be how he was raised. I hope it doesn't kill him. He has weak ankles. I actually wrote that. He has weak ankles, but I like the way he never gives up. Never stops getting back up. Whether karate or with this investigation, he's been knocked down and we've had setbacks. But I have a professional appreciation for his sense of justice. But I fear for his sanity should we fall into a fail after fail after fail in this investigation for too long. Not everything goes well, as the case of Old Man Jenkins' missing prosthetic leg. Not everything turns out all right. I don't want my friend to fall apart should we discover the world we live in is truly cruel to the dreamers. But if I could summarize Isai, I'd say he's as close to a big bro that anyone could ever ask for.
Oof.
For some of us, if not all of us, we needed that. He taught me not to ask for lighter burdens, but to ask for broader shoulders. I have a lot to learn.
I don't know if you shared that with the rest of us or if you just read
I
that
was
to
gonna say,
yourself.
I think while holding Rory, I definitely had it in my hand and I read it out loud to all of us.
You do have very weak ankles.
I know.
He has no ankles now, and he's literally falling apart. And it's just so funny that I wrote that with this ending not
Sam,
in mind.
I feel like while your body's turning into sand, she's like packing the sand back into leg shapes.
You're trying to snowman me?
I'm trying to like sandcastle you back together. I'm like,
Wait
it's
till-
okay. It's
wait till
okay.
it
We'll
gets
put
to
you
his
back.
groin.
I'm like, I'll make you bigger than before.
Give him better
When-
ankles.
When you finish reading the letter, the tops of your knees, that's where the sand
Yeah.
is at now.
Rory.
What?
I'm hoping that this means that you get another chance with Jason, and I know he's gonna be mad. I know he's gonna be upset. I know he's gonna hate me for doing this. I know that he's gonna be mad at the world. But I'm gonna need all of you guys to be there for him. You're gonna need to be there for each other. I'm so sorry that I never got to tell you this, Rory, but I love you.
I think that just breaks Rory. He's sobbing as I think he's gonna kind of pull back a little and like have one hand behind the head, behind Isai's head, and he's just gonna like kiss him on the forehead. He's gonna say, I love you too. More than I've loved anyone. You are every good day I've ever had. And I don't know how I'm gonna go on without you.
Better days will come. I promise. Okay?
I'll look
Don't
after
forget.
him for you, Sai. This case just became a lifelong one.
Frankie, do me a favor. Speaking of that, you saw what we went through for 3 years with Jason. This case is closed. My case is closed.
We know where you are. We know how
Then
to get here.
Then come visit.
We're getting you out of here. We're gonna tear this fucking carnival down and we're gonna kill that fucking, I don't know, marionette neck thing.
Santa.
It's okay, Sam. This
It's
is-
not okay. What do you mean it's okay? It's not okay.
The three of us will find a way.
Don't let it consume you the way that it consumed me for 3 years. Okay? At least this time you know where I'm at. But Rory, enjoy your brother, enjoy your family, and please, for the love of God, let Jason bring Sam home. Stand up to your parents just a little bit. Just a little.
I'll hide the sandals first, but sure.
Always, yeah. She's got those wooden ones. I don't even know why. It's not even right.
We went on vacation one time, and it didn't.
They're the wrong size.
Frankie's gonna pull out a gum cigarette and just kind of lean against the table, looking up at the sky, dramatic, like just kind of puff out a little sugar smoke. What do you?
It's
What
like
should
a
we-
pixie stick powder.
Yep.
Isai, the sand is at your hips now.
What should we tell your family, Asai? No one's gonna believe us anyway, but I want to do right by you.
Tell them I ran away.
Are you?
Tell them that I talked to you guys. Tell them that after 16 long years of living with them, I just had to run away and try to live on my own.
Say you got a good job somewhere. Teaching karate.
Tell him I moved east. There you go.
Teaching little tigers. Being a protector like you were for us.
So
Like
don't
you
you
are
ever
now.
start smoking in real life, Frankie? I swear to God.
Are you kidding me? Shit is gross.
It is. It's smoking kills, and so do weird spider demons.
Oh, my legs feel cold. Oh God, my legs. Well,
I built them the best I could. Okay.
why is
They're
one
like-
shorter than the other, Sam?
This is why we don't take you to the beach.
Rory keeps kicking it over. Sam is gonna like grab a handful of it and throw it in her duffel bag. Just
It's
cause.
gonna get everywhere. You
I don't
gotta clean
give a
that thing
shit.
out.
Look, you all accept this. I do not accept this. And then I like look right into Isai's face. Just right close. You fucking listen to me. I am going to the library and reading every fucking occult book they have. And then I'm going onto the dark web. I'll have Frankie help me. And I swear to God, sorry, Santa. I swear to gosh, next year I'm getting you the fuck out.
Sam,
Shut up.
I've been meaning to tell you this since I met you. Santa's not real.
Why would you make those your last words?
No, my last words.
You're just saying that so that I won't go through with it. It's not gonna work. Look, I saw him once. He kissed my mom. I never told my dad.
Frankie, unpack that one for me when you can. I love you
That
guys.
sounds like a case of infidelity.
I love I love you guys so much.
I think if this is the
Really-
last. Oh, sorry.
really
go ahead.
quick, out of character pause for accessibility reasons. Scxrlet, if you could unmute on the Google Meet, please, so your captions pull up.
I haven't heard Sam this entire time. Is that like a medical thing, guys? I think we should look into that. No, but if these are gonna be our last moments together,
I didn't
I-
realize I was muted. I'm so sorry.
it's okay.
Okay.
Santa forgives you.
Santa.
These are gonna be the last moments we have together. I think I'd rather
We
have
just
it be.
you're turning into a sand marionette and you think Santa's not real? Are you serious right now?
I think I'm gonna just pull you in, Rory.
This kind of is the point I was making, but
Yeah,
all right,
yeah,
go
I'm
off,
just gonna-
Sam.
Ignore.
Sorry,
I
I
think-
got a
I
little
think-
distracted because I had to fix the thing. I didn't
No,
hear
I've,
everything.
I've, I've
When I
enjoyed
feel
this.
when I feel the sand start getting to like mid chest,
Which is about now.
which is right about now, then I'm gonna lift your head up and I'm gonna bring my lips to yours and just give you a soft kiss on the lips.
I think for the first time, Rory feels at peace. He's not as stiff as he usually is, not as anxious, but is just enjoying the moment. And I think as he sort of pulls back from it, if you're still around, it's gonna kind of look to the others. In a perfect world where we weren't, where we didn't go to the carnival and get turned into sand and saw weird clown monsters and spider demons, what do you think we would have been like after we graduated high school?
Happy.
As you say happy, you see those two eyes balloon in the darkness again. And just the visual of the crooked smile. Are you sure about that, Sai? And you see, similarly, Rory, to the screen you saw before, you see a screen open up in front of you, in front of all of you, against this dark background. And what plays is you see Rory 2 episodes ago, faced in front of 2 mirrors, and they pull up, one with Jason and one with Isai. And you all watch from an outside perspective the scene that Rory experienced as you see Rory look between the both and walk to Jason. And you all see Isai's picture disappear on that mirror before it fades to black And you two are and all four of you are left with the two eyes and the big smile again. Do you really want to believe everything he's saying out of desperation? And with the biggest smile, it swirls into nothing again as the eyes in the darkness come forth as they were before. And on that note, we're going to take our break here a little early tonight.
Now listen, you Aku looking piece of shit.
I'll fucking
we
fist
will
fight
be
you
back.
right now.
We will be back in 10 minutes. So, at 10, actually, yeah, at 10 o'clock on the dot, or just about, we will be back. Thank you to everyone watching. And with this touching moment, Isai turning into sand and then now just above his chest, just about at the top, almost at the top of his shoulders, we see a moment of clarity that Isai had not seen before after this touching revelation of love announced. We will be back to see what happens. And we start. Isai, the sand, your body turning into sand, has reached almost to the top of your shoulders, and you know you only have a couple minutes left.
The first thing Sam's going to do is take fistful of sand from Isai and start flinging them at the audience, screaming, "Fuck you! Fuck you!" And just like going like manic. She's completely lost her marbles and she's just screaming at the darkness and the perceived audience and kicking the sand and she's just having a meltdown.
She'll be okay in time. I promise, Isai.
I'm just cradling Isai's head.
I keep.
Not much left.
I'm just ahead at this point. Oh God.
Yep.
I keep
That's
telling
the best
you.
head.
I think the last expression that you saw on my face when the creature showed us all that was an expression of pain but understanding, because Isai always knew that if push came to shove, in my heart of hearts, I knew what your choice would be, which is also why we're here now, because Isai knows Rory well enough at this point, after 3 years, after longer than 3 years, but in these last 3 years especially, that you would give anything for Jason. And so, you know, it's a grimace on Isai's face, but he wants to make sure that Rory doesn't feel any disdain or hate, because there's none of that in Isai's heart. But the last thing that he's whispering as the sand slowly starts dissolving, coming up his head, is, "It's okay."
Me choosing my brother doesn't mean that I love you any less.
I know. And it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's
The
And it
silence is
rises to
filled
his
with
nose.
some "fuck yous."
Very tender.
Why are you
moment.
all standing there? Do something.
It's really just his eyes and the rest of his head at this point.
I think I just give one last kiss to the forehead and just whisper something in Korean that I don't think he understands. Not Roy, I mean like Isai, because I don't think Isai speaks Korean. But it's just a very genuine admission of love, and as deeply as Rory can possibly feel for Isai. And then he just says, "I'll see you soon."
And Frankie will say, We did it, Isai. We closed this case. We did it.
And with "we did it," the last molecule of personhood you could even recognize in Isai falls through your fingertips, Rory. And as you see it fall through your fingertips and you hear Sam screaming in the background at the darkness that surrounds all of you, you see through your fingers, looking through them, your feet have begun to turn into sand. And as you look up, you see Frankie's have begun to turn into sand. And Sam, you go to move one more time to reach down to grab some more sand, and you feel something in your gravity kind of shift for a moment as you look down, as you see your feet turning into sand.
She's gonna like stumble and then whirl around and look at everyone else.
I think we're going home.
That's
Can I
what you
try-
think this
oh.
is?
It's either that or we're gonna die. I honestly don't know.
That's the
She looks like
case.
she's going crazy at everyone's reaction. Like, and she's gonna throw some sand at you and try to like brute force through the darkness.
As if you try to go through the darkness, it's like hitting a brick wall.
She's gonna start
Bo,
punching.
just-
She's like, "Hi!"
Use form 3.
Just starts punching dark. I punch the darkness.
The darkness.
Frankie, you look down and you see your notebook is glowing blue.
I'll open it and just basically start reading aloud the pages on the files of my friends that needs to be kind of closed with our lives very potentially ending. And I will start with Sam. Not caring if she can hear it or not. Just kind of
Her knuckles are bloody and she's
Sam. The very first one in the group to befriend me in karate class. Her greatest strength and weakness is how she'll default to caring so much for others. But deep down, I think she would just love for us to help take care of her. The guys don't really invite her to video game nights as often. And I only get to play at Rory's or Isai's house, but I know Sam loves games, so maybe I'll try to save up some money to spend some time with her. To play a game at her place. To learn from her has been a blessing. She shows me a new take on dames that I never realized I needed to see. The kind of dame that hits the world back when it hurts. She's been brokenhearted a long time. In fact, I don't think I've ever felt love in the way that she's felt pain. And she's made us always smile. I know it's not a woman's place to be venerated in their pain because that's messed up. But the truth is, any of us guys wouldn't have survived long enough to have anything worth admiring like she is. And that's just the difference between a strong man and a strong woman. Men can't make much look good, but a woman can take a rainy day and bring the rainbows out of it. And Sam embodies that. And it's the optimism we need every day. Picking us off the mat every time. She's the spine of the group. I need to be more like Sam if I'm going to be the man my mom needs me to be. If I could tell Sam anything, it'd be thank you for being my friend despite people making fun of you for being, for me being yours. Rory. If Isai is the muscle, Sam is the spine, then Rory is the heart, beating hard and even beating himself up. I met him last, but I felt the quiet bond of loss shared between us. Him losing a brother and me losing a father. We're just two boys without the men we needed to learn from in life. It's a quiet pain, but I enjoy the silence with Rory the most. I don't feel the need to nervously monologue with him. I'm not as anxious around people with him. He's remarkably sensitive and in tune with each of us. And if I could tell him anything, it's that seeing him face his battles with a sense of poise and rationality has given me more of a reason to be brave when every day I'd rather hide in my room and watch a black and white movie that reminds me there were better times. But the thing about Rory is he reminds me of the times to come. And I can't just hide. If I did that, I'd miss out on the best friends a sticky piece of shoe gum like me could have ever dreamed to be stuck to. I guess that's why I'm the best gumshoe this side of Baker Street. And all these notes are signed in a fancy scrawl, Detective Francois Boussant, and a little cat paw that looks like it was forcibly dipped in ink and stamped on the bottom of the page.
Okay, my heart's exploding.
You're a good friend, dude.
Yeah, I think my punching has slowed down, especially with the final things you said. And she's gonna like slump her shoulders and turn around, and she's gonna look you right in the eyes, Frankie. It's probably sucked that I've been kind of mopey the entire time that you've known me because of, well, you weren't here when Jason disappeared, and so. But I wish we got to spend more time together. I think you're really cool. And I like your outfits.
Probably gonna stop wearing them, honestly.
I don't think you should. I think you should. Oh, and she looks down at the sand. Well,
No,
I mean,
no.
if we make it out of here, I'd like to, I don't know, dress more like you guys, especially Isai. Just to keep a piece of him close to us.
I
To
look
me.
down. I'm wearing my karate outfit.
I think it's more metaphorical, Sam.
Do you guys think we're about to die, or are we getting out of here?
I think we're getting out. I think there's really not much left for us to do for as I kind of look over at the audience, quote unquote.
Well, why do you think that they wouldn't just take us? They took Jason for no reason. All these people. You
So
can't
keep
look me
coming
in the
back,
eye and
Sam. It's why they make sequels. And after all this,
The sand is about your waist, all three of you.
So if we want to get closer, do we have to like gorilla hop over?
Yep.
I guess I start crawling over.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
give you
I-
guys a big hug. Say,
Yeah, I think we should all go into like my karate. We should have one,
One more time?
powwow. And be like,
Use the phone to like make a little campfire, basically.
yeah, be like, little tigers.
Little tigers.
We're not gonna give up on Isai. There's gotta be a way.
We'll get him out. But Isai already answered my question, and he said happy. But what do you guys think you're gonna be like after high school? Think we'll still be friends?
Are you still staying in karate?
Yeah, obviously. I don't have any other hobbies.
Yeah, obviously. Then we're gonna like start our own karate studio, and we're gonna beat up bullies.
I think that's against the law, but I enjoy the energy.
I don't know much about the law. It's not part of my homeschool education.
It's like what you're proposing is like Karate Kid, where we just beat up people on the street. But I'm pretty sure you could go to prison for that. But
Okay.
The
We'll figure
sand
something else out.
gets to your neck.
We're just like, I feel like Sam has she's so like scared about what's
Disassociative.
happening that she's disassociating, and we're like, our heads are just in my half like
Yeah.
karate gi, and I'm just really trying to pretend like this is just a water cooler convo.
I think Rory is
Yeah.
trying to get that energy of like, this is terrifying, but at least our last moments will be just shooting the shit with our friends, as he kind of can't really turn because he's just head now. But
Yeah.
what about you, Frankie? What do you gonna continue with the whole investigation thing? Are you gonna be are you gonna do something else?
Frankie, wanting to keep his friends calm, is just gonna try and say, "Yeah, when we get out of this, we'll be friends. We'll always be friends. It's been the best part of my life, and I don't want that to change. Though I think I'm gonna retire, and I'm gonna start making movies about different stories. And if we can, I'd like to make a movie about our story, about Isai's story." just to make sure that none of us forget or get
Yeah.
forgotten.
Frankie,
And, yeah.
if the movie thing doesn't work out, I think you should look into auditing. I think you'd be really good at it.
Nah, maybe after we get to play, and Frankie looks directly in the camera, even though there's no camera there. Maybe after we get to
Looking
play
at the audience.
Thunder Gundams.
I
And then just a
know, I
callback
really-
to the first episode of what Frankie really wanted was to play Thunder
Thunder
Gundams with his
Gundams.
friends, and he was saving up to include Sam.
I'll say with that
We're just
last
laughing.
callback, as you're laughing that last bit, the ability to speak leaves. As you all share a moment of silence, the eyes still crinkled from laughing, as the sand slowly takes your your nose, your eyes, and the rest of your body. And the darkness that surrounds the area you have all just turned into sand into, the eyes go out one by one until, as the scene itself fades to black, we see in the far back corners of the big tent those two eyes and that wide, crooked smile disappear as light becomes behind it. And the camera pans out of the big tent as the sunrise begins on the east of Los Angeles. And the camera going into the sky and coming back down, we see an alarm go off for 10 a.m. as Rory wakes up in his own bed the next morning. Alarm blaring and your phone buzzing.
Like, hold on. Hit my phone to try to get it to shut up.
Okay. Your phone stops.
I look. Was it like an alarm that I'd set to wake up, or was it like a? I'm looking at my phone.
So you look at your phone, alarm has stopped. You see that you've received a text from
Oh.
Jason.
Oh, do I know of everything that just happened?
You remember everything.
I think that kind of breaks him from the like early morning wake up stupor, as he's just kind of he's gonna open the text, and I think staring down at his phone after it clears the notifications, it shows that the background of his phone was Isai and him. And I'm just gonna check the text.
You see a text from Jason's phone number that says, I hope ... you're not getting this. But if you are, I'm so sorry. I told him to write my name. And that's the end.
What? I'm gonna respond like, what are you talking about?
You see him text almost immediately right after you send yours, and you see him typing, and then it gets sent. He goes, I'm gonna find a way to get him back. But
Where?
I need you to know I told him to write my, in caps, name.
I don't think Rory knows how to interpret this.
What questions does Rory have?
Chris, so okay, so are they both just gone now, or like? I'm
You
gonna-
were
He's replying, so I don't know if that means that
Okay.
he's like a ghost or not. But he
You
told,
should ask.
"Are you a ghost? What? Where are you?"
he in that Apple iPhone, questions your text, and you receive a text back from him saying, "Do you not remember last night?
I do, but Isai disappeared. Is he? I'm gonna text Isai. Just be like, "Yo, hey, are you around? Where are you?"
Mhm.
That text that you send to Isai goes green when your texts have always been blue.
I think his heart sinks a lot after realizing that, like, um, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna text my bro.
Responds back. I'm gonna find a way to trade. An offer they can't turn down. Isai will be back. And that's the last text you get in that 3.
I'm just gonna text him, "Where are you?" And then I'm gonna try to call him if he doesn't respond.
Okay. And you go to call, and the camera pulls back as you hear it click to answer. And then it pulls back out and goes into Isai's house. And we see your abuela, your grandmother, who will come to visit because it's one of your nephew's birthday parties. And you forgot because of everything going on, but you had promised her that you would be up at 6 a.m. to help her make tamales. And as she walks into your room after pounding on the door, yelling for you, you see the door open, and at the camera angle, you can see that it is 7 o'clock, an hour after you said you would be there. And she looks in, and you're not there, but your phone is. And we see on your phone you've got 52 missed calls, over 100 texts, because your abuela thinks it's like back in the day and every word is its own text. So you got 2 sentences in there. And the phone is just left there on the bedside. And she never told you, but she knew the password. And she would never snitch on your sisters, but she knew. She opens it up and she sees your text. Gracias por... Or actually, Isai, can you read out the text? What does she read?
Sure. It says, "Gracias por todo. Thank you, mom, being the must. Thank you for being the best mom I could hope for. I'm okay. I just need to explore the world a little bit, but I'll be home someday. I love you. Te amo."
And we see your abuela confused and just starts trying to type. She thinks T9 was too new. She doesn't understand this keyboard, and you're just getting, you see messages being sent through to one number, 0. And you see her just frivolously typing in Spanish and broken English sentences. As we see a tear, followed by 2, followed by 5, as we see a small puddle start to form at her feet. And frivolously typing, the camera pulls away. Frankie, you hear a knock on your door.
I'm in the middle of probably doing like a new regiment of push-ups because one time Isai told me that's what he does, even though I wasn't sure if I believed him.
Singular push-up.
And I kind of get up and walk over and answer the door.
And you see your mother there with Lemiao.
Meow.
How did you sleep? I made breakfast, but you haven't come down yet.
Yeah, it was a
How was the carnival? Was it so much fun? With your friends?
pretty confusing. with finding your locket, you never really got back to me about that.
Oh,
I know.
it was a gift from your father. I texted you that back, and make me, for this I'll say spot hidden check.
7. Or a raging success.
The Everything seems to slow for a second when you notice this, because it's not just that you notice it happen, you see some intent behind it. And as you say no, and you just casually mention the locket, you see her stop as you're mid-sentence, look down at Meow, almost with a raised brow, like she's trying to talk to Meow, and then look back up at you.
I'm glad Lemiao got home safe. He was at the carnival. Maybe he brought the locket?
He... No, he was with me the whole night, darling.
Oh, either I'm going crazy or Lemiao's getting the best of us both. Hey, Mom.
Yeah, yes, darling.
I don't know if I said this recently, but I appreciate you being everything that I needed since Dad was gone. And I know you don't like to talk about it. And I'm not trying to make you sad. But you've been the absolute best. And I've been trying to find a way to say that by just helping you out. So I'm sorry for getting into trouble sometimes and coming home with some black eyes and stressing you out or worrying you. You're perfect, Mom. You've done a great job, and Dad could see it. Dad could see it, and I think he does. I hope he does. He would have probably said something about how he couldn't have picked a better mother to his child.
And she grabs you by the shoulders and encapsulates your head between both of her arms, holding your head as close to her rib cage as she possibly can. You've been perfect from the day I first felt you. And we see her look down at Lemiao, who has now walked behind you and looking up at her. And she's holding her head, she whispers in your ear, "You would be so proud." And as the camera pulls back, we see her say that to you and looking at you lovingly, and then moving her gaze to Lemiao. And we see her mouth to Lemiao. "We'll get him back." Looking down at you and hugging your head close. And as the camera exits from your home, we find ourselves in Sam's room. Again, about 10 in the morning. But as you wake up, no alarm, no noise coming from your house. You are woken up with a remembrance of everything that has happened last night, but met with a harsh wall of, once you start formulating, this happened and then we went here and maybe it was a dream, and you pause and your home has never been this quiet.
Well, that's concerning. I think the first thing she would do is look for her duffel bag and see if the sand is still in there.
You don't have to look too far. You look up across the room at where your closet normally would be, which sometimes you remember that you've just left it open when you've thrown things in there when you get home late. You woke up looking there and your closet doors are shut. You see no duffel bag, but you look to the right side of your bed where you would step off, and right at the floor on the side of the bed is your duffel bag. You zip it open, and what you seek is there.
There is sand in there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. She's gonna open her door and, like, guys? Hello?
And you hear from downstairs your mother's voice. Oh, Sam, did you wake up? And you see her head kind of peek around the bottom of the stairs, far enough away that her face is still a little fuzzy because it's a little bit down, but you see her poke her head around.
Yeah, it's quiet. Where is everybody?
You know, use the restroom, change into comfy clothes, and come down when you're ready. We have some breakfast, and there's no roll needed. You can tell.
That's a weird thing to say. Yeah, normally I just come down with my hair all in a bad bedhead. Did you say get? No, I just go downstairs. What's going on?
Okay. And we see the camera, and all of us see you turn around the corner, and you see your mother and father sitting in your living room with 2 police officers and one of your brothers, Todd.
Oh, no.
And
What happened? What did you do?
Todd looks up at you, tears in his eyes, and it looks like he's trying to say something to you, but he can't. Like every time he goes to say something, it looks like something's holding him back.
Uh-oh. Wait, does that
And
raise
your
alarm bells?
mom turns to you. And it does ring alarm bells. Turns to you and goes, Sam, darling, sit down. And before the camera completely fades to black, you hear your mother say, we need to talk about your brother, Rowan. And we see a tear fall from her eye as the camera fades to black.
Another case.
I would like to thank my players.
The 4 players.
The 4 players. I would like to thank everyone for being with us for this 7 episode miniseries of the Dread Carnival. I'm going to give my players just a moment because this is where a final goodbye ends. And I know there's a lot of questions, a lot of yelling that may happen at me, but I am so very grateful for all of you being here. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. My name is Chris, aka D&D Imposter on all social media, aka your game master for this miniseries. I would like to thank both my players and also, especially since they can't be here right now to say anything, but my producer Erica and my tech jockey Curtis. Thank you so much for everything you guys have done and supported us through for this series, for all 4 of my players' first time playing Call of Cthulhu. And because of how we ended, I'm going to start backwards from how I usually end and start with Chris.
Oh, that's me.
For a final who you are, where we can find you, and goodbye.
Can't even do the cheer like it's me, Crit. No, but hello, I'm Chris, also known as Hamasamakun. That's HAMASAMAKUN on all social media platforms. That's Instagram, that's TikTok, that's YouTube, that's Twitch. I don't know, probably some other places I haven't thought of, like MySpace. Man, you guys remember MySpace? Friendster. Anyway, you could also find me at Hot Asian D&D. That's an Asian-inspired D&D podcast where we take a lot of inspiration from various Asian creators' folklores and such, and run a fun little adventure. Right now, we're doing Moon Pastry Heist. You could also find me at Tabletop Tempest. That's a project that my dear friend Chris and Jonathan are both on with me as co-founders. That is probably something that they can explain better because I'm just kind of emotionally wrecked right now. But it's cool. We're doing stuff and things there. You can also find Mid Heroes of Bastion. It's getting a season 2 on Alec the Bard's YouTube. We're gonna play in person, and I'm gonna get my vengeance. I was Rory Choi. That's me. Alrighty. Take it away, Jonathan.
Love the alley oop on that. Hola, buenas tardes. My name is Jonathan Perez. I play Isaí Guerrero. Man, yeah, I don't have a bit for this. Latinos Against Spooky Shit on everything. You guys can find me as well with Tabletop Tempest, a AP channel by immigrants and or the children of immigrants to bring stories that otherwise wouldn't be heard and raising the voices of marginalized communities as we expand into the world of tabletop games with founders Chris and myself. So super excited for that. You can find me licking my wounds in a corner somewhere. The shit hit harder than Mike Tyson. Holy shit. Charm them away.
Hi everyone, I'm Charm. You can find me in Old World Charm, everything. This was an excellent collaborative experience, a true testament to the shared storytelling element that we all love and know and speak of. And I honestly I feel intuitively that a lot of us have either said this or have hinted at this. This is a love letter to a piece of our lives that we didn't expect to put so much emotion into. So, inspiration of family, cultural differences, experiences growing up, bullies, karate, high school, friendships, heartbreak. In my
Video
case,
games.
video games, yeah. Or
I love Thunder Gundams.
So
Tamales.
this felt like a love letter too. Both the hardest and best time of our lives that defined our ability to adapt, to make friends and tell stories, or appreciate our family. So big thank you to our dungeon master, story keeper, for facilitating that in a way that just felt honest, authentic, and fun, despite the emotional damage. It was like all smiles all the time internally, no matter what was going on. Here, I was processing it all with thinking, damn, outstanding. So, yeah, Alia, sending the pass to the amazing Scxrlet.
Thank you for making me last because my scene took the wind out of me. I wasn't expecting that. Sam is a self-insert, so her brothers are a reflection of my reality, and you just broke my heart and made me feel a little bit of a panic attack. So I've I've dried my face. It was not dry a minute ago. But yeah, hi, I'm Scxrlet, and I'm so appreciative of being able to be allowed to be part of this experience. All these creators are so amazing, and I really, really hope that I will get to work with each and every single one of them again. I already have plans with a few of you, but all of you have been absolutely wonderful. I love the chemistry and I love the care. So I thank you so much for inviting me. That was like my canon moment, replying to that TikTok that Chris put out talking about Call of Cthulhu, because it was something I've always wanted to do. And I was like, this is my chance. I want to play. So thank you for giving me a chance. And I hope that I contributed I hope I lived up to your expectations and brought to the table what you wanted. But it was so wonderful. And I'm actually really sad it's over. So
I'll have to
Yeah.
play another one.
Yep,
Yeah, I
season
mean,
2, where we
Let's
beat up the
let's just
monster.
rotate. Let's just rotate DMs. That's all we gotta do.
I'll run the
rotate-
next
let's-
one.
Let's just rotate who gets to be in the carnival.
I just hope that I get to continue to work with all of you in different situations and scenarios and different games. Just, I'm really happy to have all of you introduced to my little niche and corner of the internet.
Internet friend.
Yeah.
Gotta do the
Pose, Carm. Pose, damn it.
The meow.
That's the one in the center.
I was
Ugh.
just feeling my feels.
Yeah, I'm actually still a little. My eyes
I
are
want to
burning.
hear. I want to hear from our the person who brought us all together. I want to just know that the difficulty, as we all know as game masters, in tying a story where anything can happen, any decision has a decision tree of like 500 possibilities. How you manage to make us feel like this was so far from a railroad and blindsided us in the most epic way at every turn. Like, I don't know how you did it. I would love to hear, and I know the audience would love to hear just that one little tidbit of what was like the piece de resistance for you.
I am Chris, aka D&D Imposter, aka your game master for this game. And I got into TTRPGs maybe 3 years ago. Maybe. I hadn't even been at a Ren Fair until 3 years ago. I didn't even know they
Yeah.
existed. That was that homeschool growing up. But
Nerd.
yep. This is, for those in the audience, this is my first ever GMing opportunity beyond a one shot. Not live, not off screen, just beyond a one shot. And I am extremely blessed not only to have these 4 players, but to have been GM'd by arguably some of the best horror GMs out there. I will shout out Check for Traps, which is the founder of the Initiative Order, who introduced me to Call of Cthulhu. And I learned from him that the best stories with games that are tough like this as you go on are where you write nothing but where everyone is starting. So I can tell you with such fervor and absoluteness, I can take pictures of the receipts. I had no more than 2 sentences for the first 3 episodes. And those 2 sentences were usually notes to myself on when to call for a break and what to say at the end of the episode. I had no notes. I made the map. I gave it to you guys. I said, this is where you start. And I let my 4 amazing players, who I cast for the show because I trust in their ability to storytell, I let them do whatever they wanted. And from their backstories and from those first 3 episodes came the next 4 episodes. But truly, up until that end of the 3rd episode, I was along for the ride just as much as chat. And I think that made it the most fun because truly, I just helped guide what you guys were already telling in the end. I'm like, I don't want to cry, but like, I cannot be more thankful for the 4 of you. I cannot be more thankful to 5% Chance for giving me the opportunity, especially thankful to Erica, Colin Erica, our producer, who was in 5% Chance's last Thursday night game, which was a cyberpunk game, which if any of you watched it, me and Hamazama-kun, aka Other Chris, were both on as well, playing twins.
That's right.
And-
I was Frankie Blockbuster.
Yep. And I remember at the end of that season, I made a comment about wanting to GM, and Erica was the one who said, or immediately sent me the GMing application 5% Chance has. So if anybody in the chat is interested in playing in an actual play in GMing, if you guys have stories to tell, especially, I will say this personally, especially if you're from a marginalized community, even more so, because I know, at least from my communities I'm a part of, how much we sell ourselves short. So 5% chance took a chance on me running my first ever actual play, and my first ever actual play being my first ever miniseries. So a fantastic, like, I could not have imagined a better cast for this game. So thank you very much to you 4. Thank you to Erica. Thank you to the last GM of 5% Chance's game, Sin, for even bringing me into the 5% Chance arena. And huge thank you to Curtis. I am so blessed. And unfortunately, I can't say before we're back next week, but just next week, Wednesday night, here at 5% Chance, you can catch the Ash and Shade Committee that returns at 7 p.m. Eastern. But if you come here on Thursday night, we will not be here.
Or will we won't. We actually
We
won't.
won't.
I'll be there, running
So-
the game by
I
myself.
will be there for you. These
Oh,
five
we can't
words
do
I
Scxrlet.
swear to you.
Thank you to everyone. You know where to find us. And we'll see you next time. Have a good night.